Yo, what's up, guys? So, Jeremy, who leads the financial education channel, just released his book where he talks and discusses about how he, for like the last 7 years, has gotten 30 to 40% returns on his investments in the stock market consistently. So I just found out he dropped his book. Like the launch date. I just found out about it today. I think technically it actually came out on the 13th, on last Wednesday. Anyway, just found out about it. I already read I think 7 chapters of it. I will say it is an easy read. He definitely wrote it in a way that makes it just easy for us to understand. My initial thoughts are that he really is catering to everyone, like beginners, more advanced people. He wants to make it easy, so I really appreciate that. That's how it should be. Stocks are not that complicated. They don't have to be, but like experts like to make them out to be very complicated. So that's my very first thought. My very first impression on the book was that it's well written, for a modern kind of conversation talk dialogue. It's not like high level complex, and it's easy to read. He puts in some pretty good ideas off the start, motivation wise, like you can do it wise. He talks about his inspirations of Warren Buffett. He talks about what investing in the stock market really is to him. It's not really just like a game, like just picking stocks and picking a ticker symbol. He talks about how it's more like a investment in a real company, and the stock price of a company is driven by the company's performance in the long run. And that that's been proven to be true, or at least from what I've read in real analysts and whatnot. Like a stock sells at the current value of a company's worth, which I've discussed this in a video before, which ironically doesn't really have to make sense. Like, it doesn't really make sense because the stock's attachment to the company doesn't actually exist. If a stock becomes worth $1 million, doesn't mean the company has increased its value unless they own some of their own stock. But that's a different story. Back to the book. Other things he talks about are things like looking for stellar executive leaders, CEOs, CFOs, and COOs. For instance, like Steve Jobs and the team that led Google have made correct and great decisions over and over and over again. So he emphasizes that as like an important aspect of looking at a company. The third thing I want to point out so the first thing I pointed was that he makes it easy to read, really easy to understand, and brings in motivation. Second thing is he describes like what leadership to look for. Third thing is he mentions his investment style is a long term. We're talking 3 years, not 6 months, not 2 weeks, not day trading. And I totally agree that day trading is kind of like gambling and kind of like very difficult, too stressful, not worth it. He says those 6 months is too short. I don't know if I agree with that. If I in my techniques, 6 months can be appropriate, an appropriately long investment. But me and Jeremy though have completely different styles. He's really a value investor, long term, and I'm really more of a growth investor. Pros and cons to each. I'm not sure which one at the end of the day really will make you richer. I mean, Warren Buffett's a value investor, and he is one of the richest men in the world, so maybe really is value. But what I'm used to is growth. Anyway, so initial impression of the book, pretty good. I can't wait to get through the rest of it. Probably going to get through the rest of it by tonight, within a day, because he's a really big inspiration for me. He's why I started this channel. So yeah, I'm gonna put my full review when I finish the book later. So subscribe, check that out, and give me some updates. Oh, I'm gonna give the stock market update in the next video. Today was a big day. Let's talk about it.